Daniel Morales checked his watch for the third time in as many minutes. 9:47 a.m. His interview at Meridian Consulting was scheduled for 10, and traffic was heavier than he'd anticipated. The job would change everything. Triple his current salary as a freelance IT technician. Provide health insurance for himself and his daughter Lily. Maybe even let them move out of the cramped studio apartment they'd been sharing since the divorce. He was cutting it close, but he'd make it. He had to. That's when he saw her fall. The woman in the red blazer stumbled off the curb between parked cars, her heel catching on the pavement edge. She went down hard, papers scattering from her briefcase across the street. A car was approaching fast, the driver on their phone, not seeing her trying to gather her documents. Daniel didn't think. He swerved his old sedan to the curb, threw it in park, and sprinted into the street. He grabbed the woman's arm, pulling her back between parked cars just as the distracted driver blew past, horn blaring belatedly. "Are you okay?" Daniel knelt beside her, assessing quickly. She was blonde, maybe late 30s, dressed expensively, and her ankle was already swelling. "My ankle, I think I twisted it." She winced, trying to stand. "And my paper's there. Don't move. Let me check it first." Daniel gently examined her ankle with practiced hands. He'd been a combat medic in the Army before Lily was born. Probably sprained, not broken. "You need ice and elevation. Can you call someone?" "I have a meeting in 15 minutes. A critical meeting. I can't miss it." Daniel looked at his watch. 9:51. His interview was starting in 9 minutes. If he left now, drove aggressively, he might still make it. "Where's your meeting?" he asked instead. "Meridian Consulting. 3 blocks that way." She gestured, her face tight with pain. The same building, the same company. The universe was either very cruel or very strange. "Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to gather your papers, help you into my car, and drive you to your meeting. Then I'm going to find you ice and get you situated somewhere you can elevate that ankle. You don't have to. You can't walk on that. And you said the meeting was critical. Let me help." Daniel collected her scattered documents, helped her to his car, and drove the 3 blocks while she made frantic calls rescheduling her morning. He learned her name was Sophia, that she worked in corporate strategy, that she was late for something important, but wouldn't elaborate. At Meridian's building, Daniel helped her to the lobby, found her ice from the coffee bar, and settled her in a chair with her ankle elevated on her briefcase. "Thank you," Sophia said, genuine gratitude in her voice. "You've been incredibly kind. Can I get your name?" "I'd like to." "Daniel Morales, and you don't need to thank me. Just take care of that ankle, okay?" He checked his watch. 103. His interview had started 3 minutes ago. "I need to go feel better." He made it to the 14th floor reception area at 10:08, knowing he'd already lost the opportunity. The receptionist's expression confirmed it. "Mr. Morales, your interview was scheduled for 10 o'clock. Miss Delgado doesn't tolerate tardiness." "I'm afraid. I understand. I apologize. There was an emergency. Is there any possibility of rescheduling?" "I'll ask," but the receptionist's sympathetic look said everything. Daniel sat in the waiting area, filling out the visitor log while the receptionist made a call. He thought about Lily waiting at his sister's house, excited about the possibility of her own bedroom if Daddy got the big job. He thought about the medical bills still outstanding from her ear infection last month, about the car that needed new brakes, about the constant calculations of which bill could wait another week. He'd done the right thing helping Sophia, but the right thing had just cost him the opportunity to provide better for his daughter. Mr. Morales, the receptionist, looked confused. "Miss Delgado will see you now." "Conference room C." "Really? Even though I was late, apparently?" "Go figure." Daniel followed the directions, finding a glass-walled conference room. Inside sat 3 people, a stern-looking man in his 50s, a younger woman with a tablet, and in the chair at the head of the table, ankle elevated on a stack of papers, ice pack visible, Sophia. She smiled as he entered. "Mr. Morales, thank you for joining us. I'm Sophia Delgado, CEO of Meridian Consulting. I believe we've met." Daniel's mind reeled. The woman he'd helped was the CEO, the person conducting his interview. Yes, I helped you." "I didn't know that I was the CEO. That this was your interview. Sophia gestured to a chair. Please sit. I'd like to hear why you were late to what I assume you knew was an important interview. Daniel sat, aware of the other interviewers watching intently. I saw someone fall in the street. She was injured in danger with papers everywhere. I stopped to help. Even though it made you late. Yes. Why? Because she needed help. Because someone distracted on their phone almost hit her. Because I'm a father, and I'd hope if my daughter were in danger, someone would stop to help her instead of worrying about appointments. Sophia exchanged glances with the other interviewers. The position you're applying for is Senior IT Systems Manager. According to your resume, you're currently freelancing doing contract work. What made you apply for this role? Stability, benefits, the ability to provide better for my daughter. I'm good at what I do, but freelancing means inconsistent income and no health insurance. Lily deserves better than what I can give her right now. What happened to your previous employment? I was working full-time at a tech startup. When my wife left, I needed more flexible hours to handle childcare. The startup couldn't accommodate that, so I went freelance. It's been manageable, but barely. The interview continued for 45 minutes. They asked technical questions that Daniel answered confidently, drawing on years of experience. They asked about his approach to team management, to crisis situations, to balancing competing priorities. Finally, Sophia leaned forward. One last question, Mr. Morales. You knew this interview was critical for your family's well-being. You knew being late might cost you the job, but you stopped anyway to help a stranger. Do you regret that choice? Daniel thought about it honestly. No, because I want my daughter to grow up knowing that doing right matters more than getting ahead. I'd rather struggle financially than teach her that other people's welfare is less important than our convenience. Even if it cost you this opportunity, even then though, I really hope it didn't, because I genuinely need this job and I'm qualified for it. But yes, even if it did. Sophia smiled, a real smile that reached her eyes. Gentlemen, do you need more time, or can we make a decision? The older man shook his head. I've heard enough. The woman with the tablet nodded. Same, Mr. Morales, Sophia said. We'd like to offer you the position. Senior IT Systems Manager, starting salary of $120,000. Full benefits and flexible scheduling to accommodate your parenting responsibilities. Daniel felt the air leave his lungs. You're offering me the job even though I was late. You were late because you saved my life and took care of me when you had every reason to prioritize your own needs. That tells me more about your character than any interview answer could. Sophia adjusted the ice on her ankle. I built this company on the principle that we hire good humans first, skilled professionals second. You're clearly both. I don't know what to say. Say yes. Say you can start in 2 weeks. Say you'll bring that same integrity to this role that you showed this morning. Yes, absolutely. Yes, after signing initial paperwork and discussing start dates, Daniel found himself alone in the elevator with Sophia as she left early for a doctor's appointment about her ankle. Can I ask you something? She said. If you'd known I was the CEO, would you still have stopped? Of course, you were hurt. That doesn't change based on your job title. Most people see opportunities, not people. They would have weighed the cost-benefit and kept driving. Then most people have their priorities wrong. Sophia laughed. You're going to do very well here, Daniel. We need more people who understand that success means nothing if we've lost our humanity achieving it. 2 weeks later, Daniel started at Meridian. The job was everything he'd hoped. Challenging work, fair pay, colleagues who respected work-life balance. Lily got her own bedroom in their new apartment. The medical bills got paid. The car got fixed. But more than that, Daniel found a company culture that matched his values. Sophia had built Meridian on principles of integrity and human decency, and she hired accordingly. In his first month, Daniel watched the company pause a critical product launch to address an employee's family emergency. He saw senior leaders take pay cuts rather than lay off junior staff during a tight quarter. He experienced a workplace where doing right wasn't just encouraged, it was expected. 6 months in, Sophia called him to her office. I wanted to tell you something. She said that morning you helped me. I was on my way to a meeting where I planned to approve a major cost-cutting measure. Outsourcing our entire IT department to save money, firing 12 people, including the position you now hold. What changed your mind? You did. Watching someone sacrifice their own critical opportunity to help a stranger reminded me what I'd built this company to be. We don't cut people to pad profits. We find better ways. So instead of outsourcing, we restructured, found efficiencies elsewhere, and not only kept the IT team, but expanded it with your hire. I had no idea that meeting you made me late for it was with the board, and I walked in with a sprained ankle and completely different proposal than they expected. Several board members were furious. One demanded to know what could possibly have changed my mind in the 30 minutes between leaving my house and arriving at the office. What did you tell them? That I'd been reminded what actually makes a company valuable. Not lower costs, but better people. That I'd rather have a team of Daniel Morales than save money with contractors who drive past someone in need without slowing down. Daniel felt his throat tighten. That morning I thought I'd ruined everything. Cost my daughter the security she deserved. You gave her something better. You showed her that integrity isn't negotiable, that other people matter, that doing right is more important than getting ahead. She's going to grow up with a father who models the kind of human we all should be. I just did what anyone should do. Exactly, but most people don't. That's what makes it remarkable. A year after that morning, Daniel stood in Meridian's annual company meeting as Sophia recognized outstanding employees. When she called his name, he was surprised. He'd done his job well, but so had many others. Daniel Morales, Sophia said to the assembled company, joined us under unusual circumstances. He was late to his interview because he stopped to help an injured stranger who turned out to be me. In the years since, he's exemplified the values this company was built on. Putting people first, acting with integrity, and understanding that how we treat each other matters more than quarterly profits. She paused, looking directly at Daniel. But more than that, his choice that morning reminded me why this company exists. We're not here to maximize shareholder value at the expense of human decency. We're here to prove that success and integrity can coexist. Daniel showed me that's possible, even when it costs you something. Thank you, Daniel, for the reminder and for everything you've contributed this year. The applause was genuine. Colleagues who'd come to respect not just his skills, but his character. After the meeting, several people approached him, sharing their own stories of times when Daniel had prioritized helping over convenience, when he'd stayed late to fix someone's urgent issue or spent extra time mentoring junior staff. That evening, picking Lily up from after-school care, Daniel thought about the chain of events that had led here. One moment of choosing someone else's welfare over his own ambition. One decision that had felt like sacrifice, but turned out to be investment in Lily's understanding of what mattered in his own integrity and in a career built on values rather than just opportunity. "Daddy, you're smiling," Lily observed from the back seat. "Just thinking about how lucky we are, sweetheart. Because of your job, because of the choices that led to the job, because sometimes doing the right thing, even when it's hard, leads to better places than you imagined possible, like when you helped that lady who fell. Exactly like that." Lily was quiet for a moment. "I'm glad you helped her, even if it made you late." "Me too, baby. Me too." Sometimes the moments that look like disasters are actually doorways to something better. Sometimes the opportunities we think we've lost by doing right are replaced by opportunities we'd never have found by doing wrong. Sometimes the stranger you help is the CEO, who give you not just a job but a chance to prove that integrity and success aren't opposites. They're partners. One woman falling in the street, one choice to stop. One interview missed that became an interview that mattered more than any before it. That's all it took to change everything. For Daniel, for Lily, and for a CEO who'd been reminded that the best measure of a person isn't what they do when everyone's watching, but what they do when they think no one will know and there's everything to lose.